Hello and welcome to Kingsmere Zoo, a zoo that we have built through our community over on Twitch and TikTok. Feel free to join us there at Just Jack Media. Until then though, why not sit back, relax and join me on a walkthrough of this amazing zoo that we've built together. Here is the entrance to Kingsmere Zoo, a very European modern style building that we built. Unfortunately, we haven't got a chance to finish this due to obviously this being franchise mode. When we first built this, we only had that 20 grand budget, so we will be coming back to this. But for now, how about we get the walkthrough started with our desert biome. Here is the foxhole, the place where our fennec foxes are running wild in their little rocky desert Sahara style enclosure here that we built up. I thought I would want to make something a little bit different. I've made very outdoorsy style enclosures in this one, but this time I thought I'd make something that the guests could actually peer into. You can see there in the back Sahara and Dusty just on the right as the keeper comes in. This was a very nice build to build. We actually made some really nice rocky cave area here as well on the right hand side of the enclosure with some nice heat lamp looking lamps hanging down. And again, we got to basically explore a little bit more with what my stream were calling poop rocks, building up loads of different styles of rock enclosures as well. This here is the piece de la resistance, the foxhole. This area here is where I was thinking and imagining like young kids and children just kind of standing here, looking through the little peephole and watching the fennec foxes eat. Let's see what it looks like from the inside though, as we go through to the keeper side. As we step into this Sahara-style desert biome, we have our two fennec foxes here. And as you can see in the interior, it's very similar to the outside. Loads of rocks, loads of new terrain. We built up a lot of the desert style. Unfortunately, as the fennec foxes don't like too much coverage, we couldn't go too wild with all of the planting. Let's move over to the campsite now, where we can see the little cave system and one of the other fennec foxes looking like it is turning down for the evening. Look at that. Just about to fall asleep. How adorable. You can also see some visitors here looking in through the window on the right-hand side, watching through that really cool rocky cave experience. Next up, we have one of my favorite habitats here on the Kingsmere Zoo, the meerkats. And Sergey here has his own little poster up as we made some really cool custom banners for this zoo. And as we take a look over here at the habitat, we have an amazing cylinder-style dome that we made up and a big old circle-style habitat, which is the first ever circle habitat I've ever built, if I'm being honest with you. Some nice railings, and there are the meerkats in the middle, looking at the tunnel. Some babies in there, as I think it's about 8 meerkats in there now. Here are some of my more custom builds, like we like to do. Oh, looks like he needs to go to the toilet. As well as obviously more looks at those banners there. We try to hide a lot of our donation boxes. And as we step to the right-hand side, well, the middle of the habitat, we have Pup Corner. Pup Corner, again, is child-friendly, I would say. It's one of those sort of viewing platforms that you can build for the kids in a way, as the meerkats look like they're burrowing down into the dirt as per usual. It's a great viewing point here, a huge glass. Obviously adults can use it as well. And as we get a full 360 view of the habitat here, you can see that we have built up a lot of the foliage as well. Stepping inside the meerkats, you can see a nice little bedding area in that cylinder dome that we built. A couple of grasses actually coming through there, might need to change that. But it is a very big enclosure for these meerkats actually. I thought at the start it was going to be pretty hard because the meerkats kind of breed quite quickly, but at the moment we are looking very good. A lot of rock foliage here, as again we can't really do too much planting because they hate coverage, they hate it. Here's a little look at the outside educational area. We've put a lot of foliage that represents the desert around on here, or the African desert, should I say, with like some palm trees and some tall grass, etc. Just to kind of blend it into the area. So again, this is one thing I find quite important, is all of the little bits, some cactuses over there, etc., between the habitats, which is why we're going to be taking a turn around here and going to be looking at one of our restaurant pieces. You can see all the tall grass here that blends in. But there it is, the restaurant. This is our first ever restaurant I built. I actually built this outside of the stream, and the stream were extremely sad. But we made this. This is Sunstone Restaurant. It is a nice African theme. We had to build a another kind of seating area downstairs on the left here. And on the right, you can see upstairs, we have, I believe it's 7 tables upstairs and then 13 on the left to kind of allow that more coverage, because we kept basically sending a lot of people away. Next up, we stay in the desert area, but we're going over to Prairie Park, where we have our black-tailed prairie dogs and a walkthrough habitat, which is a little bit different. Again, first ever time I've done that, as we peek through to see if we can find any. Let's take a little step inside here. There's one of the prairie dogs actually walking across the path literally right now, straight over that woman's foot. It is a perfect look. You can see here as well, like I was saying about donation boxes, as the guy just throws some cash in, I like to try and hide them within plant pots and other sorts of builds, just so it's not the same, if that makes sense. But again, such as a desert biome it is, coverage is not huge, so we had to work very well with making little teepee huts, using loads of rocks, kind of building up to make it a little bit more interesting. And also here you'll see we used a little bit of the construction, some baskets, some ropes, things like that just really help build up this without actually having to worry about the coverage of the foliage and the plants that the actual prairie dogs do not like. Nice little teepee looking roof that we built up there. With their bedding as well. They love to sleep in there. Another prairie dog going across. And here's another one as well by the bubble machine. There they go again, running across. A very interactive style of an exhibit here. Really enjoyable. Really enjoyable to finish off our desert biome. Next, we find ourselves at more of a temperate style part of the zoo with our red foxes here underneath their little den that we built with some African logs and a ton of African logs as a roof here. These little critters are adorable as hell. They started, I believe, with like 4 of them with Mama Colleen, and they are now, I believe, 9 or 10 of them within this habitat. A lot of foliage, as you can see here, some beautiful plants, loads of flowers. Again, the greatest part about temperate animals, they love trees and plants. So we got to go really wild with this one. Here are those custom banners, as we have seen all around the zoo. And as you can see here, we made a really rocky structure. This was actually our first enclosure that we built at the zoo, funnily enough. So we didn't really have too much of an idea of where we were going with it. But you can see here the red foxes running in their pack. A fantastic, graceful pack animal, the red foxes are. Oh, looks like he's taking... Oh, give us some privacy. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Treetop Terrace, which is our street food up in the trees. We built this up on stream. It was quite a fun experience. Got a lot of bamboo, loads of wood, and again, trying to connect all of that foliage everywhere. You can have a great view from sitting here looking at the clouded leopards over there, as well as the Reptile House, which we're going to be at next. And again, just really had some fun here working with these sort of booths. You've got a nice information center there, our chief beef burgers, and I think as we go around here, it is Pip Shop Water. And I think there's actually a toilet on the back side. It's actually our first toilet that we set up. We haven't really got many toilets around this zoo. That is something we're going to need to build. But it was a lot of fun building this because, again, we got to play with a lot of grass, a lot of foliage. It got to a point where when we started to build the desert biome, we hadn't really had a chance to do much of that at all. So it was really nice to kind of build this kind of nice looking treetop terrace here. And as you saw from that view from the treetop, the clouded leopards are next, or clouded lemons, as we call it on stream, because I always screw that up. There's one of the baby kittens there looking adorable in our viewing platform. We built this enclosure a little bit differently. We had to kind of do a front a little bit lower, as you can see here now, and the back a little bit higher. Put all of their climbing at the front, all of their other stuff. And there is one of the leopards at the back jumping around. I had to build it as like as you were looking in, you saw further up, if that made sense. And again, what we were lucky with this one was we got to build a ton of foliage, loads of flowers, loads of plants, loads of big trees, because they love the coverage, the clouded leopards. They want privacy. And as we take a very good look over the top of it, you can see even more detail in all of the foliage we put down. And here's all the climbing as well, all of the different styles, different levels that we built up. And of course, the hammock. They love the hammock, but it allows people to kind of look in and see right up to the top. As we pan over to the right-hand side, you'll see our latest exhibit that we're building. I bet you can't guess what it is in the comments. Why not leave a comment and let me know? Or what you could do is go to Just Chat Media on TikTok and Twitch, and you'll be able to see what we're going to be doing live. We finish our visit to Kingsmere Zoo here as the rain comes down at Reptile Realm, our massive reptile house. It's actually perfect that the rain is coming down now, because what's better at a zoo when the rain comes down? You want to get undercover. So we're going to make our way inside. The outside still isn't finished with certain details, except for all of this really amazing seating area you can see here. But as we get underneath cover, you can see those people are hilariously standing outside still. Our second toilet of the zoo is actually here, as well as some food machines. But on the right-hand side here, as we try and get through the crowds, we have our Asian water monitors. Our first animal that we put into the zoo at the Reptile Realm. You see they've had 5 babies. It was a lot of stress, but a lot of fun at the same time. I think it took us 15 hours or more to build this reptile house, and it's still not finished. There's so many details we need to build, but I had my community behind me, especially taking some amazing inspiration from Sarah, one of our community members who is part of Split Screen Discord. Feel free to join us at Split Screen, and you can send in your screenshots too. We take a step over here to one of our centerpieces, the dwarf caimans. I bet you can't guess what is next to them. You can see in the background one of the dwarf caimans already trying to get at the meat that is on the platform over there. But again, another really amazing enclosure here where the water comes right up to the windows to allow people to view in and perfectly see this beast going absolutely crazy for that ham on a stick. I don't think it is ham, but I'm going to say it's ham. As he walks away, you can see again, a lovely thing about the reptile house is we got to play a lot with foliage. They love coverage, so we could play with loads of plants and different kind of rocks and build up this beautiful enclosure for these animals. As we look up to see if it's still raining through our amazing glass roof that we, again, took so long building, trying to work out what kind of layers we wanted, how we wanted to kind of layer it in different kind of stages. We then see that the sun is coming out and we can take a step over to the Komodo dragons over here. Another one going for a bit of a bag of meat on a stick, attacking, looking so adorable in its kind of open but closed enclosure. We took the roof off on an outside area because, again, we thought that would be quite cool, having a little bit more of an outside area and an inside area. But you can see here that it worked extremely well. As we continue to walk down the reptile house, you'll be able to see one of our other Komodo dragons just chilling in their bed as we come to what is the end of the reptile house. However, we have missed one animal. As we turn around, we go over to this last exhibit with one of our bigger reptiles, the gharials. Well, I think it's the gharials. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Such an amazing looking reptile, and I did notice here that our glass was broken, so maybe I'll have to get a mechanic out to the enclosure as he loses his head there on his Yeti platform. But look how great they look with his little babies in the water as well. It was a lot of fun to kind of build this enclosure and in general the actual reptile house in total, because again, reptiles love foliage. They love covering with plants and water and different kind of land. And this one was really cool to make because, again, as you can see, there's old wood, there's some great rockage, and we actually got to build a nice looking enclosure for these animals. And there's the mama gharial. Gharial. You'll have to let me know if I'm saying that right in the comments. But yeah, it was a lot of fun building this huge reptile house. Well, Reptile Realm, as we call it. Now, as we come to the end of our looking, all I can say is thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you subscribe, maybe drop some likes, and let me know in the comments what kind of things you would like to see in this zoo. If you want to get involved and be like the community, you can get involved by watching on stream live where we are building this zoo over at Just Jack Media on Twitch or TikTok, and even get involved in the split screen Discord, and again share some ideas over there. But until next time, guys, this is Kingsmere Zoo's first walkthrough, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys more next time.